purpose of the videotaping meeting is for the public information. The opinions expressed by any member of the public do not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the Amherst Area School District Board of Directors and are solely that of the speaker. The Amherst Area School District Board of School Directors hereby expressly disclaims any and all responsibility or liability for any false, defamatory, or slanderous statements expressed by the speaker. Any unauthorized rebroadcasting of any video, audio, or still image of the video recording of this meeting is strictly forbidden without the written permission of the Amherst Area School District Board of School Directors. Roll call.
Mr. Angus?
Here.
Mrs. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Keever?
Here.
Mrs. Kehoe? Here. Mr. Cobalt?
Here.
Mrs. Locker?
Here.
Mrs. Mylan? Here. Mr. Sass?
Here.
Mrs. Smith? Here. Sunshine Law, Section 708 of the Sunshine Law permits agencies to hold executive sessions to discuss employment and personnel matters, labor relations and arbitration matters, purchase or lease of real estate up to the time an option or agreement is obtained, litigation or potential litigation, and other agency business which, if discussed in public, will violate lawful privilege or will violate confidentiality laws. The Board of School Directors held an executive session Wednesday, January 13, 2016, to discuss 1. Employment and personnel matters, 2. Salary schedule and labor relations.
Any correspondence?
No.
Thank you. Motion to accept or correct the minutes of January 13, 2016 meeting, discussed meeting January 20, 2016 board meeting.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to accept the treasurer's report dated 2016.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any amendments to the agenda? Student recognition, employee recognitions. Sean Cook.
Good evening, Mr. President, School Board, Dr. Imperio. Thank you for the opportunity this evening to accentuate and really showcase some of the things that are going on here at the junior high school. Just over the past week, we had several events going on, and I just wanted, like I said, showcase a few. Over the course of last week, the Student Council and Interact Club held various fundraising activities, including face painting, iPod Day, and selling roses for Valentine's Day. The week ended in an enormous dodgeball tournament in which the students bought American Heart Association t-shirts and their tickets paid for them to be in the game. Because of their generosity and involvement, the students and staff at the junior high raised nearly $2,200 in support of the American Heart Association last week alone. So without the support of our Interact Club and our Student Council, that could not have happened. And a couple of special people I'd like to recognize that did that had a lot to do with that. Is one, Amy Braun. Mrs. Braun, are you here this evening? Carolyn Crawford, she's here too. And also Miss Sarah Hamilton. Sarah could be here with us. Thank you. Second, I'd like to take notice and recognize the elementary STEM walk that we had last Thursday night. We had around 110 junior high honor students, teachers, helpers, all in all helped out and really contribute to the event. We had over 50 elementary students sign up from all the elementary schools to come here to the junior high last Thursday and participate in the elementary STEM walk. We couldn't have done that without grants from McDonald's in Baden and the Beaver County Trust. And I want to recognize Donnie Ayers. Mr. Ayers, if you're here, without your hard work, we couldn't have done that as well. Lastly, for this week, just as recently as Saturday, our mathletes, we call them mathletes, not athletes, but mathletes competed in the math counts, and I'm not going to quote that, that was given to me by Mr. Freed there. But our mathletes competed in the math counts competition Saturday at Penn State Beaver. The group consisted of 10 students from our junior high. Our overall team earned second place, and overall 4 of the students finished in the top 10. Two students earned the honor to participate in the competition in Harrisburg, which is March 18th through the 19th. So they made us very proud and represent our school very well. And we couldn't have done that without the help of Mr. Freed, who's also here. I'd like to recognize him. Miss Simpson, Ashley Simpson, she couldn't make it? Okay. But Miss Simpson is also a sponsor. She helped out there. And lastly, our TSA group competed on January 29th in the TSA competition. This took place at California University, and we had 15 students take part in this TSA competition. It was a Technology Student Association. Out of those 15 students earned the right to compete at the state conference in Seven Springs this April. So we want to wish them good luck as well as they go in their endeavors to compete there. Our brand new teacher, Mr. Latham, I don't think, is Mr. Latham here today? No? Mr. Latham is a sponsor for that club, and he also took those students to that event, so without his help, that wouldn't be possible as well. So again, just some of the great things that are going on just within the past month here at the junior high school, representing our school very well in a positive light. Thank you.
Public comment regarding agenda items only. Public comments. At this time, anyone from the audience may come forward and comment on agenda items only. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes and can only speak once. This period for public comment prior to the standing committee reports will be limited to 1/2 hour. There will be no discussion during this time, but any board member or administrator desiring to address questions or concerns may do so at the conclusion of the committee reports. There will still be opportunity for the audience to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge Area School District under order built and new business at the end of the meeting. Does anybody want to come forward? Moving on to committee reports. Education and Technology, Mrs. Smith.
Mr. President, should we do the student recognition first, or would you get the voting items out of the way?
Let's do the recognition first.
Okay, great. I do have one point of information. The 2016 Jazz Workshop, the Beaver County Arts Educators Consortium's countywide MS Jazz Workshop will be hosted by the Ambridge Area School District under the leadership of Kimberly Bainey, Todd Hartman, and Sam Eisenrich, held Wednesday, April 6, 2016 at 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the high school music suite and auditorium. Any expenditures associated with this event will be covered by the BCAEC, and there will be no cost to the district. That's my point of information. Moving on to some student presentations. With the help of Mr. McKelvey and Mrs. Brock, maybe? Or just, we're not going to hand them out? Congratulations to the Ambridge Area School District students who won awards at the Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical Contest in November. Their achievements were celebrated at a banquet in honor of Dr. King on Sunday in Rochester. Sienna Brock, a senior at the high school, placed second and won a $300 scholarship in the 12th grade division. In the 5th grade division, Elizabeth Nerdwani from State Street placed first, and Naomi Husted from State Street placed second. Are they present? Miss Chloe Castro from State Street and Caitlin Revelant from Economy tied for second place in the 4th grade division. Are they here? In these divisions, first place won $50 monetary award, and second place received $25. All winners also received a plaque and certificate of achievement of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and Senate. Okay, moving on. Is that all for State Street? Okay, that's next. World Events Competition National Qualification. Congratulations to Cameron Weatherly of State Street, 6th grader. Cameron qualified in the World Events Competition. He placed in the top 10% of the 200 students playing world current events. He has now qualified in 2 games to attend the national competition in Atlanta at the end of April. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the students. Moving on to the 19th Annual Ambridge Area Junior High Science Fair. The top 20 junior high school projects and the Economy Elementary 6th grade Science Club will head to the Pittsburgh Regional Science Fair on April 1st, 2016. Top 5 places. 5th place, Adam and Noah Smokovich, Lift Those Weights. Fourth place, Raina Chickas, Ashlyn Lively, How Deep Does Your Knee Bend? Third place, Lydia Kovach, Mason Kovach, David Stugden, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Second place goes to Alexandra Peters, The Science of Growing Tomatoes. And first place, Haley Holman, Nicolina Mecchia Hoover, Do Concussion Guards Work? one more round of applause for first through fifth place. Couple honorable mentions. Marjorie Jersolak, Carlina Powell, age 2 SOLAR. Ryan Recipio, Haley Recipio, Feel the Burn, the potency of heartburn relievers. Madison Len, iodine contents and common salts. Will Gogolski, flammable fabrics. How fast do clothes burn? And Samantha Farah, ice is not nice.
Just so you know, Sammy here did not have to do a science fair. She's a 7th grader, so she chose to do it. She took it upon herself with her other honors classes.
Some 6th grade economy elementary students and their project titles. We had 3rd place, Hannah Miller and Celeste Vargo. Do you need help? Here's a helping hand. 2nd place, Austin Molina, Nathan Lambert. Don't got water, the effect on planet growth. And 1st place, Hunter Fritz, Along Came a Spider. Congratulations to all the students. Moving on to voting, under Education and Technology, make a motion to accept items 1 through 9 this evening.
I'll second.
Mr. Angus,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Keeper,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mr. Cobwall,
Yes.
Mrs. Locker,
Yes.
Mrs. Nyland,
Yes.
Mr. Sass,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Finance and budget, Mr. Sass.
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept items 1 through 10. You will see in item 10 the recommendation of the administration as to the depository bank that was ultimately selected.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Angus,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Keeper,
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Yes.
Mr. Cobwall,
Yes.
Mrs. Locker,
Yes.
Mrs. Nyland,
Yes.
Mr. Sass,
Yes.
Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Buildings and grounds, Mr. Keever.
Yeah, I'd like to move for items 1 through 6 under building and grounds.
Item second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Angus,
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Keever?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Athletics, Mr. Keever.
Yeah, one point of information for the evening. Congratulations to both our boys and girls basketball teams on a successful regular season as they begin participation in the WPL playoffs. There has been a change in the playoff schedule. As you know, last night all the WPL games were canceled and pushed back a day. So our boys basketball team is playing tonight at 8 o'clock at North Allegheny High School, and our girls team will play tomorrow night. Cardinal Rural High School will be the location, and tip-off for that game is 6:30. Voting items under athletics, I do have one, so I make a motion to adopt number 1 under athletics.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Mr. Angus?
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Keever?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Public relations, Mrs. Mylan.
I have one point of information. Kindergarten registration will be held March 14th through the 18th from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. At the following locations as listed. Please call Mrs. Civi at the high school extension 1236 to schedule an appointment.
Steering and rules, Mrs. Fisher.
I have nothing to report, Mr. President.
Legislative, Mrs. Keough.
Nothing to vote on this evening.
Salary schedule relations, Mrs. Locker.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of items 1, 2, and 3 as presented.
Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Angus?
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Keever?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Personnel, Mr. Angus.
Yes, Mr. President, I move for the adoption of items 1 through 9 as presented.
Any discussion? No, second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Angus?
Yes.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Keever?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Cowell?
Yes.
Mrs. Locker?
Yes.
Mrs. Mylan?
Yes.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Unanimous, motion carries.
Solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've provided a written report to all members in their packet.
Superintendent's report.
No report this evening, Mr. President.
Now it's time for old new business. It is now time for old and new business. Anyone from the public who desires to comment on the business relevant to the Amity School District should now come forward. Please state your name and where you live. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes and can only speak once. Do we have anybody? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.